The following lesson is linked to Learning Outcome 2, Reading and Viewing. It addresses the assessment standard that requires learners to explore and explain key features of texts and how they contribute to meaning. The lesson is also linked to Learning Outcome 3, Writing and Presenting, and addresses the assessment standard that requires learners to demonstrate planning skills for writing for a specific purpose, audience, and context, and use a range of visual and design elements. There are stacks of magazines out there. Even if you aren't going to buy a magazine, which magazine will you pull off the rack to look at? I bet it would be the one with the cover that appealed to you. Hi, I'm Kushu. In this lesson, we'll also look at some of the design features that are used to make magazine covers appealing to potential buyers. We'll also consider how magazine covers are designed to appeal to their target audiences and how they are in keeping with the intention of the magazine. Let's take a look at the outcomes for today's lesson. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify some design features of magazine covers, describe how the target audience and intention of a magazine influence its cover, and design an appropriate cover for a magazine. Let's look at the cover of the People's Magazine as an example. How do you think this magazine would attract readers? This magazine uses a range of design features to appeal to its potential buyers. Let's look at some of them. This magazine doesn't use a model on the cover. Instead, it shows a celebrity. Some readers may think he is good looking, and others may be interested in his acting career, but I'm sure he will attract potential readers. In addition to the main picture, this cover also includes other smaller pictures. The pictures of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, as well as two actors from Isidingo, would appeal to readers who are interested in these celebrities. This cover uses a lot of bright colors. The masthead or magazine title is in red on a yellow background, which makes it stand out. The bright pink and blue are also eye-catching. Some information is put on shaped backgrounds to make it stand out. For example, Brad and Angelina's home appears on a yellow flash, and a South Africa's hottest hung calendar is written on a pink banner. Like most magazine, this cover gives the title of some of its feature articles. Titles such as First Exclusive Pics and Lose Your Holiday Bulge Now give potential readers an idea of what is covered inside the magazine and may encourage them to buy the magazine to find out more. Words like now, exclusive, and more real-life stories make it seem as if the magazine is reporting on relevant, exciting topics. Many of the design features that People magazine uses are used by other magazines. So let's recap them. Design features of magazine covers include a cover model or celebrity, smaller pictures, bright colors, interesting background shapes, titles of feature articles, and exciting wording. Okay, we've identified some design features that could appeal to potential buyers, but let's hear what one of the designers at People magazine have to say. We spoke to Yvonne about who the target audience of People is and how the magazine cover is created to appeal to this target audience. Who's the target audience of People magazine?
It ranges from teenagers up to old people. We've got a wide spectrum of readers in that.
How do you design the magazine cover to appeal to potential buyers?
What we try and do to grab people on the cover is we put our biggest story on the cover, and that the biggest gossip thing that people are wanting to know the information about because they've heard it on the radio or they've heard it on the news or it's something happening in that. So we put that as our main picture on the cover and that, and then we add our little other gossips on the cover and that. The irony is that people like to hear other people's sorrows and that, you know, so we basically put like the hottest stories on the cover to grab our consumer and our readers so that they would take the magazine off the shelf and buy it. And at the end of the day, it's just to basically grab the consumer's eye, you know, give them what they want, tease them a little in the sense that you like saying, you know, come on, like, you know, I'm only giving you one line, pick up my magazine, open it up and read my story. So you like, at the end of the day, you're teasing the consumer to buy that magazine.
One of the reasons why People magazine uses so many different design features on its cover is because it is appealing to such a wide target audience. For example, teenagers may like the bright colors and photos of celebrities, and the real-life stories and diet tips listed on the cover may appeal to housewives. The intention of People is to provide light-hearted entertainment on a range of topics, and the cover gives readers a good indication that this is what the magazine will do. Now let's look at a magazine cover that has a more specific target audience. Remember that the target audience is the group of people that the magazine is aimed at, and it's often defined by the age, gender, race, and interests of potential readers. Here's the cover of Teen Zone magazine. Who do you think is the target audience of this magazine? And how would this cover attract members of that target audience? I'm sure you guessed that this magazine is aimed at teenagers. Apart from the name Teen Zone, there are other clues that the magazine is aimed at teens. Let's have another look at the cover. First of all, the cover model is Bow Wow. He's a celebrity rapper that teenagers will be familiar with. Then there are smaller photos of models from the Divine Dudes 2006 calendar. I think these pictures would appeal to many teenage girls. Like People magazine, this cover also uses bright colors. It also uses funky fonts or lettering to make the words stand out and appeal to teenage readers. If we read the titles of some of the features in the magazine, we can also see that they are aimed at teens. Fat and Fresh is definitely teen speak. And topics like how to survive a holiday romance and summertime fun guide would appeal to a teenage audience. Members of the target audience of Teen Zone would be teenagers, so they would be between the ages of 13 and 19. In terms of gender, we can assume that more readers are female than male because the articles about swimwear styles to suit your shape and a magic makeover are more likely to appeal to girls. If we page through the magazine, we see that lots of the adverts are for makeup, perfume, and women's fashion. So this suspicion is confirmed. In terms of race, this magazine would appeal to teens of all races. Sometimes the race of the cover model indicates the race of the target audience. However, lots of magazines may use a black model this month and a white model next month. Or they use a celebrity of whatever race instead of a model. In the case of this edition of Teen Zone, the cover star, Bow Wow, is black. However, inside the magazine, there are photos of people of all races. The interests of readers of Teen Zone would be fashion, relationships, celebrity gossip, and having fun. These interests are reflected in the titles of some of the feature articles included on the cover. Let's summarize what we've discussed about this magazine. The age of the target audience is between 13 and 19. The gender is female. The magazine will appeal to people of all races, and the interests of the target audience include fashion, relationships, and gossip. Again, the intention of Teen Zone is to provide light-hearted entertainment, and this is reflected in the style and content of the cover. The cover is designed to make the magazine look fun rather than serious, and the titles of the articles also show that they are on entertaining topics. Of course, you don't have to take our word for it. We found a Teen Zone reader. This is what she had to say about how Teen Zone appeals to her. How does this magazine appeal to you?
It's actually very visually appealing. There's lots of bright colors if you look everywhere, like on this page and everything. And also like the way they've got like people to model clothing and everything. The colors are very bright.
How does the cover of this magazine attract you?
The bold headings, especially when they have quizzes and stuff. You actually want to open up and just see what it's about. And also in this one, it's got like Valentine's Day, so like things that are coming up that, you know, you want to read about. And Colin Farrell.
In our previous lesson, we learned that magazines have a range of purposes. They can entertain, inform, educate, and inspire. And some magazines can do all of these. Have a look at this cover of Your Family magazine. Can you work out from the titles of the articles what intentions this magazine serves? Your Family is a good example of a magazine that fulfills a range of intentions. It provides entertainment in the form of crosswords and puzzles. It informs readers by giving them advice on a range of topics such as how to eat, drink, and be merry without putting on the kilos. It educates readers by teaching them how to do things such as braai the perfect fish or scrapbook your holiday snaps. And it provides inspiration with articles such as Ready for a Fresh Start, Make It Happen. That may encourage readers to try new things. By the way, while we were looking at the cover of Your Family, were you able to guess who the target audience of this magazine may be and what design elements were used to attract these readers? The target audience of Your Family would be middle-aged women whose interests include cooking, sewing, crafts, and caring for their families. Because the target audience is so different to a magazine like Teen Zone, the cover design is quite different too. The cover model is an attractive woman in the same age group as the target audience. Perhaps women buying the magazine would aspire to look like this model and think that the fashion and beauty tips in the magazine might help them to achieve this. The smaller pictures show some of the desserts and party snacks that this magazine has recipes for. This looks delicious, and a homemaker may want to buy this magazine to try these recipes. The light blue background is attractive, but not as bright as the Teen Zone cover. Also, there are not so many different fonts, and there are no shaped backgrounds. In this case, using fewer fonts and bright colors gives the magazine a more sophisticated appearance that would appeal to older women. We have already looked at some titles of features in this magazine, and I'm sure you'll agree that they are aimed at the target audience of middle-aged women interested in homemaking. Let's go over what we've covered so far. So far, we have learned that a magazine is aimed at a certain target audience, that magazines fulfill different intentions which influence what they contain and how they are presented. Thirdly, we know that magazines use a range of techniques to attract our attention. Before we go, here's another task to get you a step closer to completing your own magazine. Today, you will design a cover for your group's magazine. In putting together your cover, remember to consider the following: the target audience, the intention, and the type of magazine you want to put together. Thinking about the magazine's target audience, intention, and type will help you to decide on the person or picture you want to put on the cover, the name of your magazine, and the colors and fonts you will use. Make sure that the cover is attractive to your audience. After all, you want your magazine to sell. That's all we have time for in today's lesson. Be sure to watch out for the next lesson in this series, when we will be discussing what goes into the design and layout of a magazine. That's all for today. See you next time.